What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Opinion Spot. Mount Vernon Kid here. Hope everybody's well on their end. And got a little news I want to tell you about. Give my little take on it as well. And that's what the Opinion Spot is all about. And as you see the title, Chris Evans as Captain America. So I was doing a little research, seeing what's going on, and I was on comicvine.com, and one of the big bulletins on there was Chris Evans been offered the role for Captain America. Now, Chris Evans has played a superhero before, we all know. And he played Johnny Storm, and I, for one, have said that I enjoyed seeing him as Johnny. He pretty much had Johnny down packed. Pretty arrogant, pretty rambunctious, pretty much the only one in the beginning on the team of the Fantastic Four that really enjoyed having his powers. Didn't want to get rid of him. Thought it was cool. Everything like that. But we're talking about Cap right here. Now, from what I read, Mr. Evans was offered the role before even having a screen test or anything. And he was offered it. But not only will he, if he does accept it, not only if Mr. Evans accepts the role, not only will he be in the first Avenger Captain America movie, the first movie, but in the other two sequels that they already say there's going to be two sequels, plus the Avenger movies, plus cameos in other Marvel movies. Now, in Comic Vine's that's not a bad deal for the 20-year-old actor. But it's not really known if he's going to accept it or not, because filming is supposed to begin this summer, I believe, for Captain America, and Mr. Evans has two other films in work that he's committed to for this summer to be filmed, so it might not work out. But it's not saying, like I said, it's not saying that he is accepted the role, but he is the top three he's in the top three. The other two actors are, of course, people are saying Channing Tatum, who played Duke in the G.I. Joe movie and was in the movie Fighting, and they all saying, oh yeah, but Tatum is also joint with the G.I. Joe franchise and the sequel. Okay. And then there's the actor Sebastian Stan, who is like the only out of the other two, Mr. Evans and Mr. Tatum, is the only non-American actor. He hails from Romania, and but these two are in the run, Tatum and Stan. But Chris Evans was offered the role, literally offered it by Marvel. Now, as far as casting is concerned about Mr. Evans playing Cap, okay, first things first. Chris Evans can be serious. If it calls for the Cap to be serious, which it's going to be, not just an action thriller, but it's going to be a very serious piece, he can pull off serious roles. And some movies I can think of right now off the top of my head has been Street Kings. He was very serious in that. That was a very serious role he played. A very serious cop drama movie which he co-starred with Keanu Reeves and Forrest Whitaker and Hugo Laurie and all those great actors, he was very serious in that role. And other than putting on the muscle and mass to play Steve, he will put it on. He can put on the muscle to play the role of Steve Rogers. Does he look young? Yes. He's only 28. Yes. But besides the blonde hair, you know, making his hair blonde and everything like that, the question is, could Chris Evans play Steve better than somebody like Channing Tatum and the other guy, Sebastian Stan? You know, some people's eyes, Tatum kind of failed at Duke, and in my eyes, he kind of did. You know, G.I. Joe is one of my classic cartoons, and in my eyes, he kind of failed at Duke. But Chris Evans as Cap, people, offered the role, literally offered the role by Marvel. Didn't have a screen test, nothing. Just offered the role. Opinion-wise on it, my opinion, I trust Marvel in making the right decision, because look what they did with Iron Man. Look what they did with rebooting Incredible Hulk, getting Ed Norton to play the role. You know, but in my eyes also, in my opinion wise, Steve is such he's iconic. Yes, he's truly the American hero. The real American hero, you know, that stands for the whole red, white, and blue, you know. However, if you think about it, he's not that recognizable to the younger generation. Not saying, and I'm not putting my fellow comic readers in there, but I'm talking about younger generation, like 5 and 6-year-olds and 10-year-olds and stuff like that, or even just non-comic book readers. They're gonna need established actor to kind of get the audience, besides the comic readers, to get to see this movie. You know, it worked for Wolverine getting an unknown, and some people might say Hugh Jackman was established, but he was unknown. And I've said a very hungry unknown actor that wants to could do it. But the more I'm looking at Chris Evans, I started reading more into it. I'm like, he did a superhero movie, and with the likes of Ryan Reynolds, who played Hannibal King in Blade, he played Deadpool / Wade Wilson in Wolverine Origin, and he's going to be in his own movie. And hell, he's going to play next year. He's going to play Hal Jordan. What's to stop Chris Evans from playing Captain America, and in my eyes, doing justice to the character that the King, Jack Kirby, and the great Joe Simon created all those years ago? So in my opinion, guys, I'm a little bit for it, you know. I trust Marvel. I'm a little bit for it. But though Mr. Evans has so many other commitments to the role, of other movies, I'm not sure we might get Chris Evans as Cap, Steve Rogers. But in my eyes, I would probably love to see Chris Evans pull off the role of Steve Rogers. I like him. I'm not sure about your opinion, guys, on it, and that's why this is the opinion spot. I want to hear your opinions. But Chris Evans is Cap. What are your thoughts? You know, what are your thoughts? Who would you want to see? But this is the latest news coming out of the first Avenger Captain America movie. Other than that, you know, we already got talks of who's going to play the Red Skull. Hugo Weaving is talks to play Red Skull. You know, who's done the voice of Megatron, was in the Wolfman movie, who played V in V for Vendetta, and of course, most famous, Smith from the Matrix series. But that's the touch on it, guys, and that's what's going on. Chris Evans is Captain America. What are your thoughts? Could it work? Or could it not? But this is Mount Vernon Kids saying stay tuned, keep it real, one love, and I'll be back.